Hello and welcome back to 5x5 Basketball, Week 6, and we're a quarter of the way through the season, still rolling into the news. Last week was the 1-year anniversary of the tragic helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to the legend. Bradley Beal is apparently not seeking a trade, though he doesn't seem very happy in Washington at the moment. Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and LeBron are reporting leading in the MVP race at the moment. Maimane is on the field, but very interesting to see two true centers leading the way in 2021. The league is apparently finalizing a one-day All-Star event on March 7th, and Aaron Gordon is reportedly out for 4 to 6 weeks and a bit of a lost season for the Magic. Bonus round, Draymond hit Anthony Edwards with a yes sir, and it looked like this.
Suspended for 12 games and that he had to pay back the money. And he was literally sitting in his dorm room in tears on a nightly basis.
Heading to the standings in the West, the Jazz finally broke their win streak but are still sitting at the top of the conference with the LA teams hot on their tail. The Rockets have won 6 straight and are over 500. The Mavericks and Pelicans are still underperforming. In the East, the Sixers are dominating on the back of Joel Embiid. The Nets are scoring more than anyone in the league, but their defense is terrible. Jimmy Butler is back, but the Heat have a long road back to playoff contention, and at some point, Bradley Beal is probably going to be fed up with the worst record in the league. It's time for our Players of the Week in the Bay, where we go dumb. The Warriors are looking pretty smart with the Andrew Wiggins reclamation project in full swing. I've been saying since he was a rookie that he was not a Batman, but could be a pretty good Robin, and with less pressure to lead the charge, reports are coming back very positive. His statistics don't jump out that much, so he's certainly still just a role player, but he's shooting much more efficiently across the board, including 38% from 3 and 55% true shooting. His free throws are still concerning at 65%. Player efficiency doesn't like him any more than usual, but his win shares are up, and defensively he's looking very strong, often guarding the other team's best player. With his length and bounce, he's really good at staying in control and then recovering to make the play. It's really nice to see him in a winning situation after only making the playoffs one time in his Timberwolves career. In Utah, Mike Conley has been a big part of the Jazzercise's success in their recent 11-game win streak. The always underrated, often snubbed, zero-time All-Star has looked really strong this year after a disappointing first year with the Jazz. Conley is undersized and 33 years old, but advanced numbers have always loved him. In 2016, he had a 23.2 PER, 10 win share season. For reference, that's about how many win shares LeBron had last season in a similar number of games. Conley is shooting 40% from 3 on 7 attempts per game and is just a very steady hand on offense. I felt at the time of the trade that he probably wasn't enough to put the Jazz over the top next to Donovan Mitchell, and that's probably still the case, but it's really nice to see him recover from a really poor season last year, fitting in much better in Utah's system and watching them go on a win streak. In the Windy City, Zach LaVine has been running the show for a while now. He's 25 and improving every year. He's always had a good stats, bad team reputation. This generation's Monte Ellis maybe, but this year he really seems to be a legitimate star. His PER is above 20 for the first time, his shooting percentages are elite, and he's hitting career highs in all the major counting stats, putting up 26, 5, and 5. The Bulls are under 500 and don't have anyone else on the roster with serious star potential, but they're a tough out this season, and LaVine's improvement is a big reason why. His 42% from 3 while taking almost half his shots from range is probably unsustainable, but combined with his athleticism, he really is one of the toughest covers in the league now. I don't know what path forward the Bulls have that doesn't involve a lot of trading, but if LaVine were to play alongside a superstar in the future, he could be a really important player as he enters his prime. Heading over to Philly for our last 2 Players of the Week, Tobias Harris is playing really well for the 76ers. They're paying him $34 million a year more than Embiid or Simmons are getting, so they really hoped he'd be a more legitimate star for them. But that's the move they made, and he's still playing really good basketball in his prime. Maybe the improved spacing on the roster is fixing the problems he was having last year, or maybe it's just increased morale and chemistry with the Sixers core, but he looks much more comfortable in his role, and Philly is at the top of the standings. He's never made an all-star team and likely won't this season either, but he's got to get some credit for their success. He's shooting a ridiculous 46% from 3, which will cool off, but even if that regresses some, he could shoot over 50% from the field for the first time in his career. The 76ers probably would have been wise to spend this money on someone else, but if the Sixers make a deep playoff run, I'm guessing Philly fans will forgive easily. Joel Embiid, we already said, is in the running for MVP, even the favorite, depending on who you ask, and it's so fascinating to see him match up with the rest of the league right now. I have said several times that the key for the Sixers will be Ben Simmons, but he's having a bad year, and the Sixers are still at the top of the standings. And it's because no one can guard Embiid anymore. The league has gone smaller and smaller, and so Simmons is just destroying people. The difference this year, from my perspective, is that he's attacking weak matchups with more confidence and punishing teams who don't put out a fellow giant to guard him. We saw him do this against the Heat a few weeks ago when Bam was out, dropping 45 on a roster full of guys who had zero answer for him. Embiid is the closest thing we have to Hakeem in this era, and his footwork and grace at 7 feet tall is beautiful to watch. The evolution here is that he's mixing up his shots more confidently in the mid-range while hitting a 3 every game at 40% and a ridiculous 77% of his shots at the rim. If this is who Embiid is going forward, he's unstoppable and will be in all-time great conversations very shortly. In Atlanta, the Hawks and Nets went to overtime on the 27th, and while there weren't any spectacular buzzer beaters, the game went back and forth the whole way. Intriguingly, the Nets' big three went a collective -7 plus-minus, even though they shot 33 for 63 from the field and scored 89 points combined. Joe Harris and Jeff Green led the team with +18 and +9 respectively. What a bizarre roster this is. While the Nets are in second place, they have a bottom-tier defense, and I still have no idea what to think about them going forward.
Weaves his way into the lane. Passes to Cam. Reddish going up with the left hand. Drops it in. We're top.
Like I said, no buzzer beaters here. This dunk from KD basically sealed it. On to Boston. The classic NBA rivalry proved worthy of its reputation. Celtics-Lakers had 17 lead changes. LeBron dropped a casual 21-7-7, but has a crucial turnover in the final minute to keep the Celtics alive, and I'll let you see how it played out.
And all the help is in the middle. You don't want to allow good basketball.
9.4 remaining.
And to me, it should be a quick look.
Tatum again gets in the paint, flips it up, and puts it in. Davis looking. Davis knocked away by Walker and stolen. Walker has it. Ahead to Brown. Brown holds on to it. 6 seconds remaining. Ojeleye. Walker fakes. Walker puts it up. Won't go. Tice on the follow and misses.
In DC on the 31st, I don't know if I've mentioned the Nets having a rough defense, but the Wizards are the only ones playing poorer on that end. And so naturally this game has a ridiculous final score. Wizards down 5 here in the last minute. Watch this crazy sequence and finish to the game.
Irving, the free throw line jumper. Brooklyn 0.3. They got to go quick. Beal will pull up for 3. He hits it.
Big hit.
35 for Beal, 2-point game. Matthews with a steal. Here's Westbrook for 3. He hits it. Wizards up by 1. Inbounds. 2.9. Irving can't move. That should have been a travel. He missed the layup anyway.
For the record, the announcer is incorrect there. According to NBA rules, the inbounder has a 3-foot cushion on either side, so Irving is fine. On the 27th in Philly, a potential finals matchup between the Sixers and Lakers, the teams split each quarter and it came down to a final shot with a certain someone I mentioned earlier.
Shot clock winding down, now drives, goes to the beat, gets inside, kicks it out, Caldwell Pope for 3, bang! It's guarded by Simmons. Davis cuts, gets the pass, layup is good! Clock is off. Down to 8 seconds, now Harris. Harris against Caruso. On the drive, pull-up jumper. It's good! Tobias Harris sinks it with 2.4 remaining. Caruso to Davis. Davis struggling, throws it up in the basket, and it's over.
And our game of the week, somehow that Wizard sequence was topped. On the 30th, the Bulls and Blazers went back and forth all game with some ridiculous heroics at the end here. Let's watch this last minute play out. 2 of the best regular season games in recent memory this week. Forgive the different scoring overlays. These are from 2 different broadcasts, but the end result is very real.
2 clutch free throws by Kobe White. Dame gets it with White checking. Dame, deep look from outside. There's the 3. Levine gets tied up, and it's going to be a jump ball. Blazers get the tip. 5 seconds left. Covington trying to get it to Dame. He puts it on the floor. Step back 3 from Dame. Oh! Paint it! Damian Lillard! Game winner!
Finishing up the weekly wrap with our plays of the week at 5. Is this one of the top dunks of the week? Probably not, but it's a symbolic thing here as the number 1 pick takes off like GME stock and throws it down on the number 2 pick like he's a hedge funder. Bonus clip here, I'm cheating a little. Watch Steph do what he does with the look away.
Whisper Creek getting it back. 3 on the way. Yes, sir. Turned around 2. That was dirty. Oh, my goodness.
At number 4, Bam Adebayo does it on both ends here, and we have to reward that at 5x5 basketball. The Nets' lack of size kills them, and Bam runs the floor as well as any center in the league and gets rewarded. At number 3, LaMelo Ball is the front runner for Rookie of the Year, and it's instincts like these that get it done for him. A point guard shouldn't be able to do this, and once again, LaMelo Ball proves me wrong with his bounce and his hustle. Cheating again here with a bonus clip. Watch this crafty play, throwing it off the back of Domantas Sabonis to run out the clock in a 3-point game.
Again, Sabonis is showing his back. Oh,
There
he
you
did
go.
it! He did it, and the Hornets win!
At number 2, Ivica Zubac is going to smush it real hard on Gary Clark's head here. But watch the nifty jump shot wraparound pass into space from Lou Williams. That's not something you see every day. A jump shot wraparound pass into space ends with a bang, and the Clippers continue to roll in the West. And our top play of the week, for the record, the NBA's official YouTube channel ranked this as the number 6 play of the night. I'm not sure what they were thinking. This is an early favorite for pass of the year. Jason Tatum saves the ball from going out of bounds, and the Time Lord Robert Williams gets the finish. Incredible stuff with the accuracy and speed on this, with no line of sight and a whole gang of Lakers trailing. The Sandman finishes it off. That means the Week 6 wrap is in the books, and it's time for some big sleep.